Welcome back to MX versus ATV Supercross Encore, and we are going to start up, another Faster Lines video and continue the series. Now, we did all the base tracks, the stock tracks in the game, but I have not gone over any of the DLC tracks. Now, I don't play the DLC tracks as much as you might think, because most of the time if I'm playing the game, whether it's for a video or just recreationally because I want to, I'm doing multiplayer because that's the part of the game that I prefer the most. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and try and do each track pack in a video. Now, if I'm struggling really hard, I might split one track pack up or something like that. But for this first video, I did the entire track pack 1. So we did Chicago, St. Louis, Savannah, and Albany. And none of them were too hard. Now, I did struggle with Albany for some reason, and I don't really know why, because that is a pretty easy track, and I struggled with Chicago. I don't know what was going on, but I was just having trouble hitting some of the bigger lines in Chicago. I didn't do too many alternate lines. I think I do run 2 laps at Chicago, the faster one and then the more regular one, and I think I do that at Albany as well. It's not like a super clean lap, but you know, you'll see. And Savannah, there really is only one way around that track. So we're going to jump into this, and we're going to go hit Chicago. Okay, so we are at Chicago. This is the opening track in the Supercross Track Pack 1. I'm doing the post-commentary on this shortly after recording, so hopefully it's still pretty fresh in my mind and I can remember everything. But to kick things off, we are going to hit a big quad here, which is really easy to get, and then you'll have a single into the corner that I brake for. The next section coming up, I like to stay to the right side. It keeps you a bit lower over this double, and then you can jump, preload and jump 5 in, and then have a double out. But I kind of came up short because I tried jumping across, kind of diagonally. It's really not that bad to get. This section's really easy. That's the only way I ever go through it. If you went to the left, I'm not even sure what that does. I always stay to the right. Grab that inside corner, go through these whoops. This corner I messed up a lot, but we got through it nice. Carry your speed, jump 5 in. We actually over jumped. And so I think if you didn't over jump, maybe you could get that last one. We have a single out. I'm not really sure, but I'm satisfied with that line still. Hit a few whoops, have a little double, and then you kind of have a triple with basically like 4 rollers almost. We kind of quadded it and had 3 out. And that's a faster lap in Chicago. So basically, this is a second lap at Chicago. This is a slower line, a more simple line, I guess. This is one that I consistently take because I'm the guy that makes tons of mistakes. I maybe can run a fast lap and hit the bigger lines, but I always hit tough blocks or bump into people or miss a preload or whatever the case may be, or blow out the top of a berm. You know, so this is more of a normal line for me. And even though it's much slower, or at least some slower, it's much more consistent for me. But nonetheless, I take the same line through this section because, again, that's really the only way I know of going through that. Grab this inside. And here, going through this next section, there's very little difference. I just jump 4 instead of 5, I think. And then we triple, and then quad, I guess, and then have a single out again. So it's really similar. The lap's similar to the beginning one that we had. And here, I think I hit this double, and I try to do the triple, but I still carried way too much speed. So it's worth it just to jump a little farther so you don't have that goony line there. This is St. Louis. This track is a lot of fun, and you can throw pretty quick lap times down. Now this lap, I only do 1 here, is what I would think is the faster one. You can jump all the way basically on and then have kind of like a double out. Here, if you rail the corner, I've never really taken that left line, so I don't even know. And then you have a little table to finish with. I messed this section up right here though, and I'll show you at the end of the video what I meant. That's super easy to get. I don't know why. Out of everything on the track, that's the section I decided to mess up. Anyways, I'll show you at the end of the video, or at the end of this lap, what I was talking about. I think that's the much faster way through there. Try to rail this corner. It's tough for me to grab this last one sometimes because I don't get around that corner well, and then you'll end with a triple out. Rail the corner. Here you don't have to preload. We do, but you don't have to. And then we have a double into the corner. No preload for this double. Basically a triple here, kind of. Rail the corner, and then you'll end with a single here. I think that was a quad with a single. You're in the air a while, but I still think that's a pretty solid line to take. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. You just jump all the way over. It's that simple. I don't know why we had to make it so difficult, but that's what I was talking about. Here at Savannah, I really don't know any other way to go around this track. I'm going to preload. You still get a little bit of a wheel tap, but I think it's faster. You have to slow up, scrub this triple. I didn't for the sake of the video because I didn't want to mess it up. A triple, a double triple into the corner. Here you can quad. Usually you triple if you don't preload, but quad double with a standard triple here. Rail this corner. You'll have some whoops coming up. And I preload this. I think it's a bit faster maybe, and then you're 2 corners away from being done. Super, super simple track. And we're going to finish off with Albany. Now this first lap is going to be what I would think is the faster one. You have a triple, into the corner. You have a wheel tap here, but we don't wheel tap it actually. And then if you preload, you're jumping, I think that's 5. 5 with a double. I don't preload out because I like the way it sets me up for this next corner. Rail this corner, and you're basically jumping in and jumping out. This is a big, big section here. And then I think you're jumping 5 again into the corner. Rail the outside. Here you don't have to preload, and I do 2 laps here. The second lap I don't, but I did preload here with a single. I think we preload here for a triple in and then a double out. This section, I really don't know. It's kind of weird, but it did work out because it set us up to just jump into the corner. And if you rail this corner, you can jump this without a preload. I preloaded because I messed the corner up and didn't have a good approach. So, but you can easily get that without preloading. And then we're going to start a second lap here. So we just double quad. That's a much more consistent line. Now I think for a good part of this track, you can go around it pretty quick without ever having to preload. You can jump onto this table, no preload, jump off, and then I think that's the same with this section coming up. I think you actually, I slowed down a little bit here when I step on, step off, right there, step on, step off. I slowed down a little bit so I didn't over jump it, because then you end with an awkward single into the corner. So at this point, I don't think we've ever preloaded, and it's still a pretty quick lap. Now we did a double triple there, kind of grabbed that inside. It should have worked better than that, but we kind of pushed out and slid around a bit. But that's okay because I want to grab the brakes and take the inside here, and you can triple without a preload. And I think this is the only spot where we do, yeah, we preloaded a little bit. And that's it. That's the alternate lap in Albany. Okay, so that covers it for the faster lines for the Supercross Track Pack 1. Now again, I don't play the DLC tracks too often, so I don't know necessarily the best lines. These are lines that I think are quick for me and that feel like bigger lines in my opinion. I know there's guys out there faster than me, and I know there's guys that know better lines than me, because if I'm playing this game anymore, most of the time I'm playing multiplayer, and that's most of the time the stock base tracks. So the only time I play the DLC tracks is occasionally for fun I will, but for the most part I'll buy them, play them a bit, show them to you guys, and then I don't really ride on them very much anymore, because if you're doing public lobbies, most of the racing is just in the original tracks. So again, these lines might not be as helpful, I guess, as the lines in the other Faster Lines videos that we did, but hopefully they're at least a little bit of help. So if you want to see faster lines videos on the DLC tracks other than this one, let me know in the comments. Make sure to destroy the like button and we will for sure do that. Otherwise, maybe this will be the only one. But you guys and girls are absolutely amazing as always. Thank you so much for supporting the Supercross Encore videos. It really does mean a lot. But until the next video, take it easy.